So there's a number of ways that schemes have kind of changed over the years. The biggest one right now we're facing is sometimes a combination of romance scheme and an investment scheme. Sometimes it's more focused on one than the other, so there doesn't necessarily have to be a romance piece to it. But the way that these work is the fraudster actually contacts somebody, and most people have gotten these. It's like a random text message that you get that, if your name is Dave, they may say, hey, Bob, what time is dinner tonight? And you say, well, this isn't Bob, this is Dave. And usually they apologize and they tell you, okay, well, I'm sorry I have the wrong number, but you seem really nice. So they strike up this conversation. And so out of the blue, they get their way into your lives that way. Sometimes they find you on dating websites or job websites. But essentially what they do is they build this relationship with you that they are willing to invest about 6 months worth of time to do. And then from that point on, they start talking to you about these investments you can make into cryptocurrency. And then they have you invest just a little bit at a time until finally they get you to invest on their website. Usually it moves on to their website. And once it does, and you move your cryptocurrency into their website, they now have control of your money, even though it looks like you actually have control of it. Sometimes they'll give you a little bit of money back just to make you think that you have control over it when you really don't. And then later on you go and you decide that you want to take out, maybe you've made $1 million or $500,000 and there's a trip you want to take or there's a big investment you want to make somewhere else. And you go to remove those funds, that's when they start telling you that you have to pay foreign taxes or whatever it may be. Usually at that point it's been months and months, and by the time that they've reported it to us, that money is usually gone. There are some steps we can take to try to recover those funds, but honestly they're extremely devastating because people tend to keep investing in these to try to get the money back that they've already lost, and the damage is already done, and then it just gets worse and worse. Another way that some of these fraudsters get money from people, we call them imposter schemes. These are some that many people have heard about, where maybe they receive a phone call from someone that says, well, your grandchild has been in a car accident, or your grandchild is in jail, or there's always an emergency. There's something that creates an immediacy to the situation. Sometimes it's a situation where you would not be allowed to talk to that person because, for example, if it's a medical emergency, they may be receiving medical treatment and not be available. And so they try to get this emotion really, really high, and then a lot of times they will pass you off to someone else who says, well, we can treat them, but we need the money right away in order to do this life-saving surgery. And so when your emotions are high, you're not really thinking clearly, they pass you off to someone else who's a payment specialist or an attorney or what have you, however the scheme is made. And then you start sending funds to this person that then they just take and run with. So the key on these schemes really is to slow down, as difficult as it may be because it's a stressful situation. Try to think about if what they're saying makes sense, and then try to verify that it actually is what they say it is. So for example, if it's the medical case and they say that your grandchild is in the hospital, maybe just try picking up the phone and trying to call your grandchild or text your grandchild or however you communicate to verify that they haven't actually been in an accident. A lot of times the fraudster is going to try to keep you on the phone and not give you a callback number, not give you a chance to verify, and the whole reason they do that is to try to prevent you from actually verifying it, because then obviously their scheme ends at that point. One thing that's changing in the world that is going to change really the way that these schemes operate is artificial intelligence. There's already technology out there that you can take someone's voice and just from maybe 15 seconds of audio, you can make yourself sound like that person. They're starting to be able to do the same thing with video. So going back to our medical scheme where they say that your grandchild's in jail or is in a medical emergency, maybe we change this one around a little bit. And now in this case, your grandchild's in jail. And maybe they make someone sound like the grandchild that is calling you and telling you, this is my one phone call that I get. I'm in trouble, I got arrested for a DUI, there's a car accident, somebody got injured, I'm in a whole lot of legal trouble, and I need money right now. Before, it's one story when it's somebody that is telling you third party that your loved one has been involved in a serious incident. it really ramps it up a lot more when it actually sounds like that person. So it's just something to be mindful of. One way that we can attack this a little bit is you can talk to your family ahead of time, maybe know what people's plans are. Some families use passwords, and so if you were to get a call like that, you could ask them what the password was to verify that that person is actually your loved one. And again, you can always hang up the phone and call your loved one and find out if it's actually true that they're in a critical situation. So some things to keep in mind: if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Slow down, try to think through the situation and think if something actually makes sense. Stay cautious, verify before acting, and never send money to an unknown source.